Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, original, chapter number 3, text number 41, Karma Yoga. Tasmadatvam indriyani ado niyamya bharadarshava pavamanam prajahihi enam jnana vijnana nashanam. So here, Krishna is telling, Tasmadatvam indriyani ado. Ado means in the beginning itself. Tasmadatvam. Tasmad means therefore. Before we say or write therefore, that means there are something that is occurred far before or just before. This thing happened, this thing happened, this thing happened. Therefore, we should do this. So here, Krishna is telling, therefore, tasmadatvam indriyani ado. In the beginning itself, you control your indriyas, senses. Niyamya bharadarshava. Niyamya means bring that senses under your control. O Bharadarshava, the most eminent member of the Kuru dynasty, Bharata dynasty. The lust is the most sinful activities. Pavamanam. Prajahi enam. Prajahi means uproot it. Completely take it out of the earth and destroy it. Don't cut it. Don't by satisfying or trying to negotiate with this lust. No, just uproot it. Prajahi enam. Jnanam vijnanam nashanam. It takes away your knowledge and also it will take your realized knowledge, scientific knowledge. And we can see, even though we have some knowledge, we are unable to act on that knowledge platform. Then vijnana, realization. Without having proper knowledge, this realized knowledge coming from the help of the Supreme Lord also will not manifest. So our Acharyas explains, when you want to conquer enemies, what do you have to do? You have to conquer their shelter where they are dwelling first. If you conquer that shelter, then the enemy cannot have any place to live on and fight against you. They have to run away. They have to protect themselves by doing something. Similarly, the enemy is living in your senses, in your mind and intelligence. But if you capture these three places and put those subtle senses under your control, we can control only when we realize that we are different from this lust. At present, you are going with the current of the guidance by the lust. The lust for money, lust for land, lust for sex, lust for gold, lust for everything, lust for land. Buy hundreds and hundreds of acres like these modern politicians. Everywhere they have bought lands in hundreds of acres, thousands of acres. These movie stars, the business people, there are also so many trust people who formed the trust only for making money and buying land and properties and try to enjoy the tax exemption. The poor people are poor because of the rich people's lust. More we have lust is a problem for others as well. So the sitting place of the enemy need to be curbed. The senses may be very difficult to control. Even then, it is easier to control than the other items like mind and intelligence. Once you control these senses, that the eye is looking at so many things, if the ear is hearing so many things, as we mentioned, all the Panchayendriyas, and we are so busy in satisfying these holes in the body. We have so many holes, as we mentioned in yesterday's lecture, and we are spending time on satisfying these holes. But if these holes are controlled by Jnanam or Vijnanam, the mind also will be settled. The intelligence also will be very much cooperating with your soul. So we see the actions of the mind. The uncontrollable mind always wants to steal away, or if you have money, want to purchase away the properties, and also steal away so many other things, including women or others' wives or others' husbands, right? All these things are going on. But if you control the senses, the mind also will be pacified. And how you will control the mind? We have been discussing controlling the mind and senses for so many days. Just like a wild animal, when it was caught, you need to domesticate these wild animals for using in circus or something, putting the animal in a zoo or something, or museum. You have to domesticate. The domesticating procedure do not give him timely food, and this animal become so much emaciated, and his strength and shakti is completely lost. He became feeble, and he also became meek. When an authorized person to that cage and feed him the food, the animal begin to think, he is my savior. He gave me food. And in this way, he does that more often. And this animal become friendly with this fellow. So eventually, he became a domesticated animal, tamed. Like that, our senses are like wild animals. Want to only enjoy, doesn't want to listen to the good instructions given by the Supreme Lord or his devotees. Not at all. So how would we tame these senses? By not supplying its desired food and drinks. You want to just control your urges for eating and drinking, and doing more often Ekadashi fasting, Nirjal if possible. Eat one time, or maybe one time vegetables, some fruits. More we supply grains, the senses will be more agitated. It wants more and more pleasure. If you reduce that, grains, focus on fruits and vegetables and nuts, the senses will cooperate to you. So we have to domesticate this wild animal-like mind and senses and intelligence. Especially when you desire to control your sex desire. Then there is agalkai and lemon you have to drink lemon juice, probably with little honey every day. And also agal kaif with your lunch. You can soak it in lemon and leave it for half an hour. Cut it very thin slices and soak it in lemon. And it purifies your blood fully. No cancer will come at all to you. So Karela, bitter melon, is a best medicine not only to purify your blood, it is also to purify your lust. Lust for anything, especially the sex desire. And you can drink lemon juice or fresh orange juice in the morning, either above the breakfast. If you don't have acidity problem, then you can drink before breakfast. If you do that, you can see the body will be under your control. The senses will be under your control. Then you have to control your mind, which is more difficult. And this mind can be controlled only by mantra program. It's a wild cobra. Hiss at you. The mind will do always that. So in order to control the mind, mantra has to be there. A constant chanting of the mantra, especially Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Then the mind will be subdued and peaceful. Not just 1 minute chanting or 10 times of Hare Krishna mantra chanting. You have to chant at least an hour or two every day, morning, also evening. If you chant, you can see your clear mind. Of course, then the intelligence start working positively, thinking about Krishna, thinking about spirituality, wherever you are working and whatever you are doing, and there you can have the clarity in your works. You will be very quick in doing your material work. Even though it is material, intelligence is helping you, because now your intelligence is spiritualized. So spiritualized intelligence can do material work so fast, quick. Material intelligence cannot do your work that easily. It is the spiritual intelligence that can actually make your mind and senses and intelligence work so smartly and geniusly. You need to know this wisdom from the scriptures. Consequently, the mind will be under your control. Once the mind is under your control, the senses naturally will be subdued, because you have now spiritual intelligence, which can do all spiritual activities and also all material activities faster than you thought. Your memory will be very sharp. Students, when they go to school, especially for examination and listening to the lectures, they can pay attention to the lecturer or professor's mouth. They can fully have the attention of what they are lecturing or prophecy, because the spiritual intelligence calmed your mind from going here and there and wandering all over the universe. So mantra is the solution for controlling the mind, nothing else. And the diet is these things. Eat pure vegetarian food. Offer first to Krishna. Eat prasadam. Even if you are making pongal, or palak pani or dosha or bisibilabad. First offer to the Lord with a tulsi leaf, chant 2 mantras, and Krishna will eat it. After that, you take prasadam. The entire physical body will be under your control. So naturally, the subtle body consists of mind, intelligence, and ego also will be under your control. Simply having these 2 things, wonderful diet and wonderful mantra. Mantra is Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and diet is food. Pure vegetarian food offered to Krishna is called prasad. Just like if you go to the doctor gives you the medicine, prescription. And he will also suggest to you, you cannot eat this, you cannot eat this, you cannot eat this, you should eat this, you should eat this, you shall eat this. So there is a medicine and also there is a food. Simply eating medicine and eat all this forbidden food, the medicine will not work, will not have effect. It will not recuperate your system. It is very simple to identify your problem. When you are sick, you have no energy. When you are having no energy, your senses are subdued. Similarly, you fast more often, especially on 14th day. Ekadashi is coming. That will produce both results. Materially also feel very good, spiritually also is very good because it's Ekadashi. Materially your physical body is actually purified. So you have to make an endeavor. There are so many animals whose only one sense is actually powerful. Shastra explains that. The first is a deer. Deer is very eager to hear the music. The hunter knows the deer can be subdued or caught by playing the music. And he plays. The deer doesn't move. He would be so much absorbed in the music under traps him. That is the deer. So that is the sound. Then there is a fish. Fish wants to eat anything and everything. So the fishermen, they go with the fish hook and the sticks. They just hook some edibles on the fish hook. It goes and bite that food and get trapped. In that way, he gets cheated by his own tasty tongue. Then there is elephant. The forest elephants are caught by tricking the elephant, creating a big pit. On the other side of the pit, they leave a female elephant. This male elephant is so keen in meeting the female elephant, he runs after her and falls into the pit. Then bees. These bees fly all over the place, especially where there are lotus flowers. The humming bees goes around the lotus flower, and because they want to drink the nectarian honey, they goes in and drinking, they forget how the time is passing. At the arrival of the sunset, the lotus flower automatically closes and the bee is trapped inside. And for want of breathing air and movements, it dies there. Because the lotus flower is going to open only next day morning. And I have seen personally, when I go and buy lotus flowers for the service of the Lord, or some devotee members bring lotus flowers for the service of the Lord, when we open it, we see many bees are dead inside. So it is practical. So in this way, many living beings are lured by different sense objects. But these creatures have only one sense is actually powerful. But human beings have all senses powerful. They like to hear sweet music, they are lusty, they want to smell wonderful things, they want to eat wonderful things. All senses are so powerful. How do you conquer these senses from all attractions without the help of the Supreme Lord and His devotees? It's not possible. Therefore, Krishna says, Tasmad, therefore, Tvam Indriyani Yado. Krishna actually says, conquer this Pavamanam Prajahihi Enam. It is the most sinful enemy of the living entity, is the lust. Conquer at the beginning itself. We are rational animals because we can cultivate knowledge by going to school, colleges, universities. We can lecture, we can listen. In that way, we are considered to be rational animals with 4 legs. However, fortunately, by the grace of God, 2 legs got transformed into 2 hands. Otherwise, when we were a child walking on 4 legs, there we used 2 hands as our 2 legs only. When we started walking in 2 legs, then the system has changed. Every human was an animal in the beginning. So, we are attracted to all the sense objects, especially sexual activities. Men think when they are indulging in it, it is the greatest pleasure. And these things were enjoyed in so many lifetimes, in so many species of life. The sexual happiness is enjoyed by all species of life, 8,400,000 of living species. As long we have life in any species, we all would try to enjoy that pleasure. So, what is new? Nothing. We have just forgotten that we have enjoyed this, and we are going again and again behind this. So, Jnana Vijnana Nashanam, it will destroy your knowledge that it is bad, and it also takes away your self-realization. As soon as the opposite sex comes in front of you, your realization will be checked. That is the laws of nature, and that is also happening. Why? Because your absorption goes behind them. Stay in your knowledge. Listen to Lord Sri Krishna to save ourselves. That is the only way we can get out of this tabernacle or overwhelming intoxication of this material world is called sex. And Krishna is Madana Mohana, and Srimati Radharani is called Madana Mohana Mohini. The Lord actually controls the Cupid. Therefore, he is called Madana Mohana. He even said to be most beautiful personality. Even this Cupid is attracted by Krishna's beauty. Madana Mohana. And this Madana Mohana became so much captivated and carried away by Madana Mohana Mohini, Srimati Radharani. So by taking shelter of their beautiful lotus feet, we can come out of this trick created by Krishna himself. The whole plan of Lord Sri Krishna is that every living entity eventually goes to Him, who is the original creator and father of all living beings, so that He can make arrangement for us in the kingdom of God, because we are originally from there. Thus, Krishna is guiding us to please be voluntarily kick out this lust from senses, mind and intelligence, and remain pure and remain in your natural, normal life. Lust and lusty desires are not your normal life. That is abnormal. So we need to be vaccinated like a corona virus and become free from the custody of the lusty desires. There are 2 more verses in this chapter called Karma Yoga. So we will continue. Thank you. Hare Krishna.